Welcome to another episode. My name is Bertrand. The purpose of my channel is to inspire you to become the best version of yourself. Confidence and clarity is my goal here. And the reason why is because getting into a relationship is the biggest decision you will ever make in your life, because this is somebody that you're going to share a lot of your life experiences with. Now, today we have a reaction video, and this video comes from a woman who was happy that a lot of women asked her for advice. But there's a huge problem, fellas. There's a huge problem. This video is definitely going to affect you, especially if you are unaware. So let's go ahead. Let's check out this video.
So I was recently on an episode of All the Single Ladies on OWN, and since then I've been getting so many messages, but mostly from women that are in long-term relationships and marriages that want out, but they feel guilty because really nothing is that bad. Like, they're fine, except they're not actually happy. And a lot of them say they're scared to start over and all that stuff, which yes, I get it, but what do you actually want? Do you want personal happiness? Because if that's the case, and like you've tried everything in that relationship and you know it's not going anywhere, I think you know what to do. If you want to appear happy to everyone else and just check off some societal norms, stay in that relationship. But like, is that what you really want to do? And if you have kids, don't ask me. I did not have kids, and so I'm sure that makes the decision way harder. But I will say I have seen people get out of the long relationships, marriages, find a new partner, get remarried, and the new person is a great step parent. The kids are happier that their parent is happy. So it's definitely possible. Like, don't count that out, but don't listen to me because I don't know the kid situation.
Wow, fellas. I have to say this. The reason why this is going to affect you, one, is because marriage is declining. Divorces are rising. And the reason why is because of videos like this. Women are asking her for advice. Now, the reason this is going to affect you is because essentially you're the dancing monkey. You're the guy who has to keep her entertained and happy, when really that's not your job. Your job is to provide security and provision. Also, money. Can't forget that. The number one red flag is the fact that these women are watching a show called All the Single Ladies. That should tell you everything you need to know, because on the show, just thinking about what a show could be centered around when it comes to All the Single Ladies, I don't know, but I'm just guessing probably dates, trips, things that make women happy. Whatever that is. Maybe I need to actually tune in and watch a few episodes so I can absorb some more information. What I think is fair to also assume is there's trips, there's cash apps, there's no rules, meaning women get to just be wild. There's dates. They get to go to events. They get to be somewhere in the spotlight, right? Because they desire that attention. But that's the reason why this is a red flag. The reason this is a red flag is because women are getting a false sense of hope that the grass is always greener. Women want to leave their long-term relationships when there's nothing wrong. There's nothing going on. So fellas, this is why this one affects you, and this probably should have been number one. This probably should have been how I led into the conversation, because fellas, when she blindsides you with a divorce, or she's not happy and she's ready for this relationship to end, you in your mind, or as a man, you're a problem solver. So you're going to be scrambling around trying to figure out what happened and why is this going on, when in actual reality this has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with her and her fantasies, the theme that she wants to live out. Now, you being a part of her life just means you are a part of the ride. Right now, she's looking to live her own life. So another way that this is going to affect you is there's going to be fights. And I mean dumb fights. But the reason that these fights are going to be happening is because she's looking for a way out. She's looking for something so she can get out of the relationship, because she knows you as a man, you need facts. So she needs to make things add up. She can't just leave because everything might be perfect, right? You may have set up the perfect life for this woman, but in order for her to experience what the other women are experiencing,
and his emotions, whatever he's feeling, I'm not cheating. I'm not doing anything that's like foul or wrong.
she has to test it out for herself, because the real reason she wants out of the relationship is really just because she's bored. You might be tired of the same old thing too, but you're more willing to stick it out. I always say social media has fried the mind of women because they really think that these women are out here living their best lives, not realizing that this is just a highlight reel. Now, I want you guys to understand something. There are some women who are living their best lives. There are some women who that highlight reel is their life. But the majority of women that I've met, they all want some type of partner, or at least that's what they tell me. I know I'm not the most special man on earth, but what I constantly hear from these women when I do talk to them, approach them, whatever the case may be, they approach me sometimes. They all want somebody, right? They all want a companion, but the problem is it's very hard for them to keep a man, especially because the majority of women constantly want some new, right? That's what it really comes down to. They want a new stick to bounce on, right? They are looking to test drive another Johnson because that Johnson may not be the Johnson that they wanted to marry, right? So now they want to feel all the other ones because some women are making it sound like it's amazing. Number 3, this is the biggest thing that will affect you. The false sense of hope, the false sense of excitement. She kept saying, well, don't take my advice. I don't have any children, so I don't know how this would affect the children. But we all know how it's going to affect the children. We know that step parents really don't get the respect that they feel like they should get. I've been a step parent before, and you don't really feel appreciated. You know that you can't really lay down the law. You cannot really be a disciplinarian, right? If you've never been a step parent, you don't really know what it feels like, right? And if you've been a stepchild, you know what that feels like, but you don't know what it feels like to have an adult in the house that you don't have to listen to. You know that you can go to your parent and say, oh my gosh, he did this to me, or she did that to me, and that parent is going to run to the rescue. Why did you do this to my child, right? Instead of sitting down and figuring out what really happened and what needed to happen, right? It's going to always be based on how somebody feels. And that's dangerous territory. The biggest message in this whole thing is leave your man when you're not happy. Again, fellas, in case you don't know why it's important to know this type of information, is because when that woman's on her period, she's not always going to be happy. After she has children and she's going through postpartum, she's not going to be happy. When she's dealing with menopause, her hair is falling out, turning gray, it's thinning, right? She's not going to be happy because to her, she's losing her beauty. She's losing who she was, right? She wants to hold on to who she was. She wants to hold on to the beauty and the beautifulness. If all she brings is that thing between her legs, if that's all she brings to the table, she knows that thing is getting old too. These are not complaints. You got to make better decisions. If you get your heart broken, you're going to have to figure it out. Right? And the best way to figure these things out is to build your confidence back up. One of the easiest ways to do that is to exercise, because you don't always want to exercise. But the fact that you're forcing yourself to do this consistently means that you're fighting through the tough times. So those characteristics and those traits are going to carry over, especially when you need to get over a woman, right? My grandmother told me, well, she didn't tell me, but she told my dad, and my dad told me, right? The best way to get over a woman is to get a new one. So this is why I tell men to reinvent yourself. Multiple streams of income. This allows you access to a different type of lifestyle. This allows you to be able to do things that you actually want to do. Think about it. You want to go to a sporting event, whether it's basketball, football, baseball, soccer, right? And maybe you're not into sports. Maybe you're into cars, or maybe you're into something completely different, right? Being on jet skis, ATVs, right? I like that stuff. You get to do that. But you got to get your money. Got to get your money up. Now, next thing is adapt to dating, because there are some rotten apples out here and there are some ripe apples out here. Now, believe it or not, it really seems like there's a lot of rotten apples. But the truth of the matter is there are some good ones, but you got to find them. And the only way to really be able to find them is to get used to dating or adapt to what's going on. Right? And then you can make a decision. But while you're doing that, I have to tell you, enjoy the hookup culture. What I mean by this is enjoy the person for as long as you have them, as long as you're with them, because friends with benefits, situationships, flings, and even the pretenders, the people who act like they want to be in relationships, these things all exist. And you can be brokenhearted sitting on the sideline, or you can be enjoying this time, because this time is the best time to be alive in human history. Where technology is right now, the ability to have an impact on the world is crazy right now. I mean, the internet really has connected us in a way that we haven't been connected before. Or let me say it this way. The internet has connected us in a way that my grandfather could only imagine. And he probably wouldn't have imagined it to be the way that it is now. So that's why I'm telling you, this is a great time to be alive. So do what you can to make this a pleasurable time, but make sure that you're working. You're putting in some type of work. You're consistently doing something that you're passionate about, or something that you can do passionately. Whatever it is, figure it out. But I do have a question for you guys. Were you as shocked as I was to find out that there are women who actually want to leave their relationships and there's nothing wrong with the relationship? Comment under this video. Remember, when you're watching these videos, you are becoming the best version of yourself. That means you 2.0. Other than that, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.